Welcome to the Popcorn Talk Network. For the online broadcast network that features movie discussion, news, and interviews, press 1. Popcorn Talk. We talk movies. From the Popcorn Talk Network, the online broadcast network for movie talk, and the Schmoes Know, this is Marvel Movie News, bringing you the most up-to-date discussion and commentary within the Marvel Universe. Excelsior to you, our merry Marvellites!
Welcome back to our fifth show of the year, 2015, 68 in all. We are the Marvel Movie News coming to you live from... do we want to call it nowhere today? Are we nowhere?
It's up to you, man. I mean, I'm still in Chimichanga Truck because Deadpool's not out yet. I'm gonna live in there. I'm gonna live in it until it happens. In my brain, I'm there now.
All right, look, we're still in the Chimichanga
Yes.
Truck. All right.
Okay.
We're coming to you live from Deadpool's Chimichanga Truck, where we tell you all the news from all the studios and why you should be as excited as we are. Subscribe to us on iTunes at Marvel Movie News, or find us through the Popcorn Talk Network, YouTube/Popcorn Talk Network. You can also find us through Popcorn Talk's website, popcorntalknetwork.com. Follow us on Twitter at Marvel News PTN, Facebook/Marvel News Show. Follow us, like us, talk to us there. No, I'm going to give you this disclaimer on our Facebook. We don't check that as often as we check our Twitter, especially if you're sending us messages through the Facebook. We will answer. We will get back to you. It just may take us a couple weeks because we don't check it as often. Just be patient with us, or just tweet at us. That we check pretty much every
and it's 140
other day.
characters I can handle.
Yeah. So or DM us, whatever. PM is it's PM. The kids say PM, right?
PM, yeah.
Direct message.
Direct message. What?
Private
message.
Yeah, I don't know. Whatever.
Post mail.
Post mail.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know.
Punk monkey. That's what it stands for.
PHM would be Punk Hit Monkey.
It's true.
Hit Monkey's amazing.
We've derailed so quickly.
We really have. 1 minute and 30. We've 90 seconds in. We've
just
already
gone.
we're gone.
Sorry, society.
Yeah.
Just couldn't.
Meredith isn't here to keep us on track. And guys, if you'll tweet a link out to our show with a message telling people about our live chat, they should come join us. If they have Marvel questions, they should ask us. If you will do that, the voice of Doom, Lightning Crack-a-Thoom, in the booth will retweet you.
Doom is here. Go retweet.
Doom retweets from Latveria. Yes. Anyway, I'm Matt Key at the Matt Key. We've got Coy.
I'm Coy Jandreau at Coy Jandreau.
And bad news for all of you Meredith lovers like us. She's out of town today. So she sends her love. She's out of town and wishes she could be here. But we do have the effervescent Amy Dallen.
Hello, I'm Amy Dallen at Enthusiamy, and I'm really sorry I missed Meredith too. She's awesome.
Yeah, she's it is not as fun to not have her.
Yeah.
So we love our Meredith. But Amy, tell people about yourself.
Hello, my name is Amy Dallen. I've done all kinds of talking about comics online stuff. I work often with Geek and Sundry, where we were lucky enough to have both of you guys.
Yeah, that's where we met.
Amazing guest stars last month on our show, Drama Club Heroes. We do that on Tuesday nights. We read ridiculous old superhero movie scripts. And Matt, will you just do a piece of your Dr. Octopus for us? Your Professor Octopus, excuse me.
Professor Octopus.
Hello, I'm Professor Octopus. Okie dokie. Spider-Man. I am the true Spider-Man. I am the spider.
Watch it. It's gold.
You have to subscribe to the Geek and Sundry channel, right? And you can watch past
if you are a
broadcasts.
Twitch subscriber.
Otherwise, it's live only.
Yep. It was the explanation for that voice is that this was a terrible early 90s Spider-Man script, just as James Cameron was getting involved, but not actually his. We just blamed him for everything about
Still
it.
do.
Because it's so fun.
Including the possible casting of Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
I'm crying to his billions. He's doing just fine.
He's just fine. He still beat Star Wars at the worldwide box office, so he's fine.
He makes good stuff.
Fine.
And also this.
And also apparently this. But the rumor was that Schwarzenegger was being looked at to be Dr. Octopus, which is why I had to do that impression.
Doc Ock was the lead of the Spider-Man script.
Oh,
he had way more screen time.
He
definitely
absolutely
his
did.
movie, yes. Professor Octopus, as they call him,
as they
for
call
some
him.
reason.
Prof. Ock. Because I was Spider-Man
Prof.
barely spoke, except for when I was being a horrible person.
Well,
Yeah.
at about 40 pages in, you got bit by that spider.
Yeah, it took some time.
And
And then
then
I,
it
like,
bit
threw
Dr.
someone off a
Octopus
roof.
first, but you did. You dropped him off a roof
You
and said you
threw-
were the good guy.
Yeah, I'm the good guy,
You
right?
threw a wiener off the roof.
Man, that poor wiener. He
Poor
just
wiener.
rose up and got knocked out.
Stop it. Stop it.
You gotta
Get
watch
out.
these things, guys.
I also had a show called Omnibus that we did this past fall. That was a bunch of silly short things on Geek and Sundry. And on my own channel, I do comic book vlogs on occasion. And right now, I have a brand new web series that we shot that I'm really excited about. That is a silly sci-fi sitcom called Future Girl.
I hear that we have a trailer that we can show.
It just went up on Tuesday. I would love to
Voice
do
of
that.
Doom, is that a trailer? Can we show that?
We will at a little later in the show.
Later
All
in
right.
the show.
Video.
All right. Well, Voice of Doom, you tell us when Latveria is ready to broadcast that. But Drama Club Heroes is also where you're at, and that's on Geek and Sundry's
Indeed.
Twitch,
Geek
right?
and Sundry's Twitch, Tuesday nights, 7 Pacific.
If you're interested in any of that stuff, I have that all on Geek Girl Authority. We've got the link up on our Twitter, or you can just go to geekgirlauthority.com and find it there. But all of Amy's stuff is linked right there in that article.
Thank you so much.
Well, we appreciate you being on. All right, it's 5 minutes into the show. We should probably get to some Marvel news, right? What do you think?
No, maybe. I mean, that's what we're... Oh, yeah, that's what it says.
Yeah, it does. No, we should talk about popcorn. That's what we're here to do. Popcorn talk. All right.
Discussing the popcorn.
iTunes listeners, Coy is eating popcorn out of a bag, making it sound awful, like a burning fire. I bet it sounded like a burning fire to you.
You're
Our
welcome,
studio's
society.
not on
Again,
fire.
just today, derailed. No
Yeah.
rails. Off
Yeah,
the rails.
yeah,
Like Thomas
completely off the rails.
in Ant-Man. That's how off the rails we are.
Anyway, let's go to Netflix. Let's talk Netflix. Luke Cage had some new pictures come out this week. Nothing big. We're not seeing anything that we're not expecting to see. He's fighting some guys. But what is cool to see is I don't know which picture we're going to show. I know we're pulling it up right now. But there is a picture of him. I've got 4 pictures pulled. There's a picture of him throwing an officer, a picture of him helping an officer up, a picture of the clapper with tiara on it, which is the show name, and a picture of
That was pretty amazing.
They were auditioning for this, and it was very hush hush, and tiara kept popping up in casting, and I knew, but like it was one of those things where I didn't know if I should mention it like on the show because it's obviously tiara. If you know comics, that's amazing. But I was just like, will I get in trouble? Tiara working title, but now that it's out, oh my god, tiara! Like,
yeah,
that's
it's
the
so
greatest
great.
thing.
It's so great.
awesome.
So anyway, Zach, just throw one of the pictures up and we'll talk about it, Voice of Doom. Okay, cool. So here's what I like about this picture. In other previous pictures that we've seen, I didn't put them in here because I didn't want to burden everyone with pictures. And by the way, listening audience, you can find these at geekgirlauthority.com. But there's a picture of Luke Cage with small bullet holes in his sweatshirt. And that's exciting to me. It shouldn't be because we already know that he's bulletproof. We've already seen him on Jessica Jones walk out of flames. Like we know, and we as comic book fans already know what his power is with unbreakable skin and super strength. But it's just cool to see.
Yeah.
And what makes it more fun is in previous pictures from this exact same shoot, you can see him without the bullet marks on his back. So you're just like, oh man, you can piece it together and be like, oh, he got shot in the back, and he probably turned around and looked at the officer as like the officer wet himself and was like, that should have killed a man, but it didn't. And he's like, oh man. So anyway, I just
That's the whole thing.
That's exactly
You know, Luke Cage. Oh man.
oh man, oh boy. And then we've got a picture of him running next to a cop car. It's really not running so much as it looks like he is just pumped. Like he's just like super pumped to like punch some dudes or something. I just thought that was a good picture. The picture that I'm really excited about is the picture of him like in pre-toss as he's like holding on to an officer. What's fun about that picture, the picture itself is not spectacular, but if you look closely, you can see a tow line behind the officer.
So he clearly gets launched.
So he clearly is just like launched, like you just said. Like he just like goes flying, and I don't know. I'm just excited for this show. I'm so
I'm really
excited.
And all of his comments sound like he really loves the character and loves the fans and loves the interaction. Like that interview he did, like he's just, this guy's Luke Cage. Like he was Luke Cage on Jessica Jones and stole the show. So I'm excited for his show.
Yeah. Well, it's like we said earlier, like when he first came, when we were first talking about Jessica Jones, like I would literally watch an hour of Mike Coulter as Luke Cage just driving around on a motorcycle.
Right.
Yes.
He's that.
Doing nothing. No plot.
So
just
sharp.
him going, like every 5 minutes just looking around going, "Sweet Christmas." I'd be like, "Yep, that is a Luke Cage.
Yeah.
That is I will watch the hell out of
I
that
just
show."
love how much he
Yeah.
loves the fans, man. I'm always happy when like actors that love people get work and that big of work, and he's just like
Yeah.
it's such a cool universe to be involved in, and he knows it, and it's so awesome.
Yeah. So anyway, let's jump over to Daredevil, where the Italian Netflix Twitter account this week tweeted out a picture of Daredevil's glasses broken.
What?
It's just a cool image. Like, there's no new. Like, I get it. There's no news here except
But it's a cool image.
it's a cool image, and I want our fans to see it. Like, why would I not want our fans to see that?
and
So
what are comics if not a series of cool images?
True.
it's sequential art.
See, there it is. There you go.
Especially in
There
this
it is.
case where the images have dramatic import. Like, things are going really well for Matt Murdock,
Yeah,
as they
clearly.
usually do.
It's just swimming in it. Very happy.
Except for these broken glasses.
Yep.
That's not going well for him, and that costs
so
a
much.
lot of money. He probably you know what I would love to see is these broken, like a scene with the broken glasses, and
At the eye doctor, just like,
no, not at the eye doctor. He goes back in, and Karen Page is like, "What happened?" And he'd just gotten in a fight, but he can't tell her that he just got in a fight because he's still hiding his identity. And he's like, "One of the icicles fell and it hit my glasses, and it fell. And I'm gonna go get new
and then
glasses."
he comes in and goes, "Sweet Christmas," and it's a Christmas story.
Yeah, and then it's a Christmas story.
It's
yeah.
Netflix is a
Yeah.
Christmas story. What did we both eat this morning that I cannot
no.
focus because I'm just like,
No, but I love this moment with the Netflix stuff because we get to be in this space right now where they've made 2 shows and I absolutely adored them both. So I have no mixed feelings about just responding enthusiastically to every image and piece of information we get because they have not in any way let me down.
Yeah.
And it's the most beautiful space to be in where it's just like, whatever you guys are doing next, there is an incredibly good chance I'm going to love it.
and that
Yeah.
teaser without showing anything new and just showed the past images
Yeah.
was better than most teasers I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And it was literally like, hey, remember how great this was? Remember how great it's gonna be? Oh, and Punisher's here. Like it was just like
Yeah.
tut, 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 wah, and it's amazing. And it was art, and it was nothing new. But that's what I like in trailers. I like trailers to give me nothing, but give me a tone, and that's what Deadpool's done so well.
Yeah, and that trailer was all about capturing the tone and like
Yeah.
that sort of like sanctimonious sort of like, oh, this is like he's coming from a very like church background,
Yeah.
like there's fights with morality and
Which
like
is one of the interesting things about the characters.
Yeah.
They're always
Catholic
worried will
guilt
be
is
lost
important,
or
yeah.
handled really badly. And
Yeah.
like it hasn't been. And that's amazing.
oh, I love it.
And
I
the
love
fact
it.
that there's Punisher, like
We're probably gonna see Gladiator. Like there was one of those teaser images early on with like
right with the
like
saws
the
and-
saws. Also,
And the fact
we already
man.
know he's there.
There's like 5 villains potential, and I'm not worried.
Yeah.
Like it's not Batman and Robin. Like I'm really excited for this to be handled well and see what a comic book world is like with multiple
Yeah.
villains without there being any worry of like
Yeah, and because they're on TV, they can do that because they have the extended
13
seasons.
hours,
Yeah,
which we'll all watch in 2 days. So it's just a big movie, and we know it. Like
Yeah.
they know what they're doing. It's perfect.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah. So staying with Netflix, Iron Fist, according to Mike Coulter, who plays Luke Cage, has already been cast, and he's like, well, let me just read the quote. The actor has been cast. Talking about Danny Rand, but he's in a basement somewhere. When the time is right, they'll let him up and tell him where he is.
Tell him where he is.
Yeah, I am excited.
You're in New Mexico. Run!
Run for the border.
This is the beginning of your training.
Get out of the U.S.
Yep. If you can make it to New York, you have the jump.
You are
So-
Iron Fist.
so
welcome
Coy-
to Cuba.
Coy,
Swim home.
welcome to Earth. Coy, you being our resident fan cast aficionado, who would you, like? We've said Ryan Phillippe.
Ryan Phillippe was rumored for. I mean, selfishly beyond myself, who would start training tomorrow if needed. He gets a lot of crap, but I like Charlie Hunnam a lot.
Yeah.
I think Charlie Hunnam's really talented. I think he's got enough draw from people, and he has the right look. He has that he looks like he has old money, but also looks like he can handle himself, and that's a really hard balance. Because you don't want a Bruce Wayne, because Bruce Wayne is intentionally cocky and arrogant while he's Bruce Wayne to
Yeah.
distract people. Danny Rand's a rich guy, but he's
Yeah.
not a dick.
Yeah.
So I think it's important to cast someone that looks like they have money, but don't exude a certain
Sure.
arrogance beyond that. And I think Charlie Hunnam has that. I'll have to think about it.
Yeah. Okay.
He was the one I thought of when we talked about it yesterday. He's my go-to one. Ryan Phillippe would be good. I think he's a little older than I see
I agree.
Danny Rand as.
I agree.
I would also love to see an unknown. Charlie Cox, when he was cast, I'd only seen in like 3 or 4 things, and I was like, I don't know, but I'd love that for Danny Rand. I'd love to keep seeing actors that we just don't know that well, because it's great for them to get the exposure and to be a franchise.
Yeah,
and
well, it's the same with like Mike Coulter's Luke Cage. Like, who is that guy? You know, like he was just in a couple things. You know?
And I'd love to see someone that's actually a martial artist. I think it's more important that they can act and do martial arts than their name, and I think Marvel knows that. So I'd rather have someone that looks like they can handle themselves. I mean, I'd love Brewski to be freaking Iron Fist, because he's like the guy in the Daredevil suit when Daredevil's not. Like, I'd love someone that can handle themselves in every way. So I can't really say, because I don't know a lot of martial artist actors, and that's a problem. We should know more.
Brewski, by the way, is your stunt actor friend.
Yeah.
Okay.
He was the guy that was the hallway fight scene for Daredevil.
He was a stunt.
Amazing.
Yeah, so that'd be amazing if they could do that. So yeah, I'd love to see a martial artist actor actually get the part that we don't necessarily know.
Yeah.
What I would love about an unknown, especially if they are younger, is that I look at Iron Fist sort of primarily in terms of how he will eventually play off Luke.
Right.
And someone who is a little younger than him makes sense, because I always want the sense that Danny has less life experience.
Yeah.
Like, that should be something that you sort of intuitively read from those guys, even though they are going to be equals and best friends. I assume they're going to be equals and best friends. It's a little weird that, like, I got scared that we got so far into the Luke Cage process without having a Danny, because I was like, what's happening?
But who I also like, and this is gonna, man, I'm ready for the anger. I'm already, I'm building up my Zac Efron.
I knew you were gonna say that.
I like Zac Efron for it, because he also has that sense of wealth, and also has that dude's body just banging. He'd be an
Did you just say you want to bang that dude's body?
I was saying that dude's body is banging.
That would be fine if you did.
I'm just saying.
I just want to make sure I heard you right.
Audience.
I can't tell if you're joking.
No, but like, we need someone that looks like he can handle himself, and that guy, I don't know, I like Zac Efron for it too, because I want him in the Marvel Universe, I've said before.
Yeah.
Honestly, if you assume he's going to be kind of a punk and then he turns out to be awesome, that's not a bad casting.
Right?
That's
That's what I'm saying. I want someone that has like a nest, and those are both actors with that nest of like, I don't know if we'll get along, but okay, you're cool.
Yeah. Going back to the relationship that you were talking about, that is one of the things that I always liked, is that Luke Cage seemed to kind of be like the de facto leader of the duo. Mm-hmm. And that he was like the street smart one, and that Danny Rand was like this spiritualist, like almost optimist. There was almost like a pessimist optimist thing going on. So yeah, like that is kind of an important angle to get right. Like,
and it's got to not be Bruce Wayne. And that really is a difference that we haven't had a lot, because Iron Man and Bruce Wayne are they're anagrams. Mm-hmm. So it'd be really important to have this new flavor of rich superhero, and I think that we need the right casting for that. Still, I vote unknown, but if we need knowns, Zac Efron, Charlie Hunnam. I'm sorry, internet.
So let's jump over. Are we good? Do we want to move over to Fox?
Coy is already drunk, apparently. Yeah, I said it's sober, Zac Efron.
Let's talk Deadpool.
Let's
talk Deadpool.
Does anyone here care
let's
about
get people
Deadpool?
back on my side. Let's draw them back in. Be like, okay, let's. But that's why we put chapters in this week, so people can skip my Zac Efron love.
Oh, by the way, have you guys noticed that we have these really cool new graphics over here? I can't see it on my. It looks like I'm just like waving at the air for me, but
the worst Vanna White ever.
Is Matt like high on something? He's just like waving at the air. But let us know how you like this stuff. We're trying to create like chapters. We're going to be annotating our shows so that if you don't want us to be talking about like Agent Carter spoilers, you can be like, well, screw this. I don't want to listen to this. I want to jump to the next thing. And now you can. So we're trying all that out. Please let us know what you think about it. If you have suggestions, let us know. Let us know. We want to make our show better for you guys. Right?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Okay.
Doom demands feedback.
Send all feedback to P.O. Box 616-1610, Latveria.
Does the Latvian embassy take unsolicited feedback?
Oh, they do. Doom wants all feedback, yeah. So let's talk. Wow, we are 20 minutes. We are just derailing. It is a fun show.
I'm going to clarify before I get myself in trouble that when I just made that "Does anyone here care about Deadpool" joke, that was sarcastic. We all care about Deadpool.
And now America does.
Express some rage.
I love, actually, that's a good segue. I love that America now cares about Deadpool. The last 2 years, he's gone from like, not deep geek character, but like that thing that people dressed up as at Comic-Con that other people were like, Spider-Man? And everybody was like, no! To full-fledged, like, he is the face of an empire right now. Like, and then the comics reflecting. So Deadpool's the most meta character ever. Going from him being meta to being successful to him reflecting that success by being meta in his already meta self-aware comic is just amazing.
That he's funding a team of Avengers in the
Through
comics
Hot
right now
Topic
through his
wear.
own merchandising
Which
rights.
I am.
Yes.
Every week I have a new Deadpool shirt. It's working. Like, clearly, like, I just... this was a gift, by the way, from Sir Steven.
Yeah.
I wanted to give a shout out and love. I love this.
Very good shirt.
It's the Ninja Turtles. Did you see it?
Ninja
Yeah.
Deadpool.
That's awesome.
So good.
So, yeah.
jealous of that shirt.
So Deadpool.
Anyway, we've got some new bios that came out. Comicbook.com found these, and they did screenshots. I believe they were advertisements on Hulu. Like they were running between episodes, I think. Anyway, we've got it all at Geek Girl Authority if you want to go take a look at them. But there's some really good ones, and I thought we would point out some highlights. Amy, you said that the Colossus one.
Yes, the
really
thing that
got to
jumped
you.
out at
Yeah.
me from this set is and I'm excited for this movie, and I've loved nearly all of the Fox X movies, but I'm used to sort of a lack of faithfulness, and that I didn't realize I was kind of. We've just accepted
Yeah.
until I read this Colossus card, and I think I almost cried because this card was written by someone who knows who Colossus is
And loves the
and
character.
understands it, which implies that the people working on this movie know who Colossus is. Do you want to read what it
Yeah,
actually says?
I'll read it. Colossus, a lover, not a fighter, also a fighter, can transform entire body into organic steel, possesses super strength in his metallic state, poet, artist, deadlifts a dump truck, wants Deadpool to join the X-Men as if. That is him. That is so
Colossus.
It's pretty
perfectly
basic,
him.
but it's very obviously it's suitable in tone for a Deadpool movie because it's punchy and it's funny. But that basic thing that like Colossus, he'd rather be doing art and poetry, but this is the lot life has handed him, and he's also totally willing to be down for I'm probably really unreasonably delighted by this freaking ad
I don't
for
think
a
it's
side
unreasonable
character
at
in the
all.
Deadpool movie.
And it's 5 blurbs that completely sum up the character from the comics. That's impressive writing. To be that succinct, but also in tone of Deadpool is like...
because I'm traveling from the why is Colossus in a Deadpool movie? Fine, I'm gonna like it. It looks like this movie's gonna be great. I'm sure but I accepted that it'd be some other version of Colossus again.
Because it's Fox.
Nope.
Like, yeah.
But now it's X-Men. Like I've been saying, this is our soft reboot. This is how we get the X-Men. We're finally getting our X-Men in movies because the society's ready. It's been 15 years of comic movies slowly evolving. Change is hard.
The earlier X-Men movies are often correctly given credit for sort of creating the environment that could make these exist, which makes it sound as if the X-Men traveled back in time to create the future that they wanted to get us at. That's the most
Some sort of
X-Men
Days
thing
of
I've
Future
ever
Past.
heard.
Wow, that is the most X-Men
That's true.
story.
We're now living in the days of future past.
And those characters,
We are.
they sacrificed themselves by letting themselves be what will now seem like inferior versions for the sake of the future good of their entire race, by which I mean superheroes.
James Marsden certainly did, because that poor man can act and is
Bless
a good
his
actor,
heart.
but he just is in there just... Cyclops will one day be relevant and good. We'll get there. I will sacrifice myself until that day comes. That's a great point, because I think right now is society's zeitgeist. We're at the point of this precipice of comics are totally acceptable, deal with it, and that's because of the 15 years of building up to this moment where Colossus has this blurb. We did it.
Yeah, we did. Guys, we as a society, we've done it.
I'm so happy.
Thank you. I mean, those are our fans on the Cosmic Couch. Yep,
A lot of them.
love them.
Big catch.
Big clappers. Big clappers, those fans. Let's see. Deadpool. We already know. We know Deadpool. We don't need to go over that. But Vanessa Carlyle is Deadpool's main squeeze, lady of the evening by day and by night. Tames the mark with a mouth, knows how to handle your ski balls, and definitely not a damsel in distress. I will point out that they did not say anything about her being a shapeshifter or
Yeah, that is super left out. That's,
I don't know if that's we don't want to spoil anything that's coming, or if she doesn't do that at all. I'm the fact that it's left out intrigues me about her even more.
Same.
You know, I don't think it would. I don't know that I would want it put in there because I feel like it's a surprise that's coming. I feel like they experiment on her the same way that
I do
they
too,
did
especially
Deadpool,
that pod
and-
shot. There's a shot of her in the pod at
Yeah.
one point in the trailer.
Yeah, I really feel like that's I think that's the thing. And these aren't spoilers. These are just us guessing at what could possibly be. But
sadly, none of us have seen it, unlike most of our friends that do
yeah.
reviews and things. So many people have
so
seen
many
this
people
movie.
I know have seen this movie.
I've also heard a rumor that Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool himself will be at the Super Bowl handing out chimichangas.
No,
And
he is. He is.
What?
Yeah, he's going to be in a chimichanga truck at the Super Bowl handing out chimichangas on Friday.
Now, let the record show, I have never had a chimichanga.
Wait, that's tomorrow.
I've never had a chimichanga.
Oh, dude, chimichangas is great.
I'm saving my first chimichanga for Thursday. I'm going right from the show, getting my first chimichanga at Salsa and Beer, and then going to a movie theater, getting 3 Mike's Hard Deadpool drinks, and just enjoying my life.
What theater are you watching it at?
AMC Burbank. If anyone would like to come, it's going to be a hot mess. You'll see me at
Wow.
my very worst. My very
Or
worst.
your very best.
3 Mike's Hards, Deadpool in. I'm just going to be not approachable, but I'm really excited.
Wow.
So, my first chimichanga Thursday.
Oh, wow. No, I grew up
Deadpool
in...
would have so much to say about the fact that you are popping your chimichanga cherry.
I know, right?
Chimichanga cherry.
I'm ready for my chimichanga cherry.
Let's hashtag that, you guys. Chimichanga cherry. Ajax, we've got to skip it out. We've got to keep moving. Ajax is weapons expert. Did Deadpool wrong. Looks like a jerk. Is a jerk. And has enhanced strength and feels no pain. Angel Dust is, has no patience for Deadpool's nonstop banter. Possesses superhuman strength and speed. Negasonic, we've talked about it before. I'm very interested. Her power is explosive personality, can detonate powerful atomic bursts from her body. And she's actually learned how to channel those into a punch or a headbutt or like out of her chest. Like she's learned how to kind of channel those bursts. So... anyway, let's move on to the next image of Deadpool, and that is Wade Wilson with his mask off, standing with Marina Baccarin.
See, I feel like that's
Vanessa
the
Carlisle.
closest to a spoiler we get, because it looks like she still loves him, and that makes me happy.
See, I didn't think that this was a shot from the movie. I thought this was just like backstage. Like
It's
this is
pretty well lit.
That's
That's
true.
a pretty cinematic image to be just like 2 actors hanging out off.
no, they're just like hanging out on like.
Actors aren't just constantly beautiful like that.
I've
That's
never
not
seen a
the
crafty
magic of the
truck
universe.
lit like that.
No, it's not.
personally.
It's obviously not a crafty truck. There's like destruction behind him. I get that, but like I don't know. I just kind of.
There's like a giant solar light. Like there's a 4K up into the right.
I get it. I thought this was a moment between takes. Like,
Oh, see, I saw it as like, hey, at the end I unmask, and I've been so worried about looking like an avocado, and now you love me still, and look at us together.
why would they put that picture up?
Because they've been so good at marketing, they have to fall at some point.
See, I didn't. Wow.
If
wow.
that's a casual pick, Ryan Reynolds is real angry at something.
He's like, Tim, I want another take.
He's like, I wanted a damn chimichanga. I ordered it like an hour ago. Where's Crafty?
It's right behind us. I'm standing just candidly near Crafty.
I shouldn't have destroyed Crafty when I got mad.
I think that the marketing has been so good that they're now actually just slowly releasing these. This is a picture that Fox would have released like month 1 Fantastic Four. Like they've
Yeah.
learned what to do. I don't think it's only a week till the movie comes out. So I think at this point they're just throwing images out of context. That could be the end of the movie.
And all right. Well, I hope I didn't spoil anything. I didn't think it was that, but
No,
hopefully.
I'm hoping. We're guessing.
All right. Deadpool gets a 15 rating in the UK, which is, I think, like UK listeners, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that's probably the equivalent of like a rated R. But they like will allow 15-year-olds to go, whereas America's
cool.
like 18.
16-year-olds can drink, right? So apparently everything just happens faster over there.
Yeah.
Well, they're
yeah.
we're more about like living than we are here. We're like boob R. Like America's so. I mean, we were founded by like a certain type of people, and it stuck around. UK is
Yeah.
like, yeah, I respect you.
Yeah, that is, by the way, that is not meant to
This is
insult.
not the views. These aren't the views expressed by Marvel or anyone affiliated. These are Coy's views of America and the UK and my pride. No, I think that it's a cool sign that like that world
Yeah.
is. I think the 15 rating suits this movie, and I'm very excited.
Yeah. And some lucky 15-year-olds are going to get to go see Deadpool in a week. I think it opens on the same day in the UK. Deadpool's also going to get an unrated home release when it comes to DVD. And we also have one more picture to show, and that is Heroes and Douchebags Venn diagram for Deadpool.
Which is also rated 15.
Which is also rated 15. Be wary. We don't have that. I must have forgotten to send that in. I apologize. But you can see it on GeekGirlAuthority.com, and it's Deadpool between 2 Venn diagrams that have been made to look like boobies. So
Someone in the live chat just asked me how I would feel about a PG-13 version, and I feel that it would not be Deadpool because Deadpool does not. A lot of superheroes can be PG-13. Deadpool, by his very nature, is a character that needs to be R. I think they could have done it, but it would have been a very tame, not as... This is going to be full. This is going to be an actually self-sustained Deadpool film, and I don't think it could have been. I was willing to try it. I'm just glad I don't have to.
yeah.
This is a very brief side note, which I think I have neglected to mention up to now. I work at a comic book store and have for a long time.
Which one?
House of Secrets in Burbank, California.
It's a good one.
Thanks.
It's a really good one.
You have to say that. We're on the air. Yay, cheering.
I actually don't have to say that. I legitimately love that comic book.
That's
store.
where I met Amy. Because that's where I buy my comics. That's where I'm going right after this to buy Miles Morales #1.
For a long time, you were just that guy who buys all the Spider-Man
I was
packages.
the guy like, Silver Ages? You got him? Okay.
It's an instantly good impression.
That's true. It's good.
So this has been a long struggle. Like as a retailer or someone who works there, there are no kid-friendly Spider-Man or Deadpool books.
Right.
Like, and kids love Deadpool because for years now he's been an internet star much longer than he's been a movie star, and he's been in video games and people have seen the things everywhere. And there's nothing I can give them without like a parents, please flip through this. I promise you want to flip through this. And mostly they'll buy it anyway. But it's kind of frustrating. Like, but in that sense, I'm relieved that they didn't do a PG-13 movie because at least it's sort of more consistent. Of like, yeah, there's gonna be over-the-top violence. There's gonna be language.
It's like letting the parents flip through the movie. You have to bring your kids because it's rated R. If they're under 17, you got to be with them. Because...
Yeah, parental guidance is suggested for a reason.
And it would have been
exactly.
You would have castrated Deadpool PG-13. So you can't do that.
Yeah, all right. Scoop it about. Scoop. Legion over at Fox. This news just broke today.
Yeah.
They've cast like their lead. I don't know if these other two are leads, but they've cast them as well. Dan Stevens from Downtown Abbey. I think that's how you pronounce it.
Downtown Abbey? It's an Abbey downtown.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So not the Uptown Abbey.
No. It's Downtown Abbey. Downton Abbey is going to play the lead. He's playing the lead of David Huller, I believe is the name.
Yes,
Am
sir.
I correct? Did I remember that correctly?
You did.
Yeah.
You did.
No, I'm not much. I'm not the Legion guy that you are.
Now, Legion is, I think, one of the best. Have you read X-Men Legacy, the new run?
Only the beginning.
Okay, X-Men Legacy is, I think, one of the best new X-Men in the last 10 years.
Now, do you think that book is the reason this show is happening?
I do,
Because I
'cause
can't
it's
help
that
wondering.
good.
I was like, that's the only Legion thing
He
that's
hasn't been
happened
that relevant
in forever.
like 20 years until this book. This book is so good that it makes you love every new X-Men you don't care about yet. Like all the ancillary characters that you're just like, oh, a kid in a yellow and blue outfit at Xavier's school. Those characters suddenly become relevant.
See,
You
I
love
always
them.
love those kids, but like automatically,
It's their
that's
book.
my catnip. Like,
Read it. X-Men Legacy is self-sustained. You
Because
don't need to know.
Ruth is huge in it, right?
Right. She's like one of the bigger. She's the second lead. You don't need to know anyone
Are
else
any of these
except.
characters on the show her? Because
I think
they're
Aubrey
none
Plaza
of
is
them are named
kind of a
her.
parallel too. That's what I think. So Legion is a character that's completely self-sustained, which is good for the universe because you can have the show be independent from the films. The character references.
How is he self-contained?
Because
though?
in
Like,
I
his
guess X-Men,
dad is Xavier.
but in X-Men Legacy, they only reference it as like a mental problem.
Okay.
Like they only go into his mind, and Xavier is like this ominous like thing I have to deal with. So they can do that in the movie without having to tie in. So it's the perfect baseline for a TV show. And if that does well, you can open up more. But it's a great place to start because it's an independent world set within the X-Men world that's new and exciting. And it doesn't feel like it's the ultimate stuff where it's like new is good equal movie. It's actually a new book that is good and deserves a movie. And it's only 24 issues. X-Men Legacy, pick it up. It's brilliant. Legion's a great character that was totally unutilized. Not utilized to his full potential until this book.
Yeah.
So
And that was Spurrier, right? Wrote that?
yeah.
Yeah.
And it
Well,
recently
I
in the
liked
last
him in
few
the Age of X thing that they were doing in the previous run of X-Men Legacy, and I like so this show has been terribly exciting to me. I just have a million questions about like
Yeah.
how we got here and how this is happening, but like
Fargo
the
showrunners?
team behind it, yeah.
It's huge. Like
Yeah.
how they got such Aubrey Plaza is a huge TV
Aubrey
actress.
Plaza's gonna be in an X-Men
Yeah.
thing. I'm so excited.
Like it's such a big scope thing that looked like a small thing based off a tiny thing that has now become a huge thing.
Yeah.
I hope so.
Thing.
Yeah,
I hope
no,
so.
I'm more like the same way I think I got you reading Doctor Strange. Like I'm gonna have to go read Legion now.
It's so good, man. And it's
Yeah.
only 24 issues. It's really bite-sized.
I read
Four
the first issue and was like, I really don't know what's going on.
and you might not until
I'm
the
not-
24th issue.
Okay,
I
good to
warn
know.
you, everyone
Good to
reading the
know.
book, you'll whole time just be like, existential crisis, metaphysics, the meaning of life, manhood, and then by the end you're like, I'm a better human, and that was a good book.
Yeah.
Aw.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'll have to check it out. Anyway, as you heard Coy said, Aubrey Plaza and Jean Smart have also been cast in it. And you can go to Geek Girl Authority to see their characters and everything. Aubrey Plaza is playing a girl named Linny, and Jean Smart is Melanie. Linny is, despite a life of drugs and alcohol abuse, knows that any day now her life is going to turn around. So she's like the opposite, the optimist. And Jean Smart is kind of like a motherly therapist. So, yeah. Anyway, you can see the full breakdown on those on geekgirlauthority.com. Let's go over to Marvel. We're going to talk about some new Civil War art that has shown up, where we see the two teams assembled. We've seen a lot of this stuff, whereas like the two teams are fighting off, or like here's Steve's team and here's Tony's team. What's interesting about this artwork I found is that we do not have Scarlet Witch on Steve's team. We do, however, have Sharon Carter, Agent 13, who's played by Emily Van Camp, who, if you remember Winter Soldier, had like not a big part, but like she was
interesting one.
An interesting part. Like she was the neighbor, she was a nurse, and then it turned out she was an agent, and then at the very end she like chooses to side with SHIELD, whatever else. Okay. We've got these pictures, but we don't have Scarlet Witch.
Which is interesting because she was the first image they showed of the team. And she is also the big plug at the end of the spoiler for a movie a year ago. She's also like the new Avenger that everybody's like, oh, and she's like using her powers in the trailer. Like it's pretty exciting.
It's a big thing, but she's not in it.
Yeah.
And I'm just so confused.
And Gamer Girl also points out we also don't have Vision.
Maybe we don't have Vision. Oh, I'm gonna have to go double check that.
Yeah, so they were both on the New Avengers. They were both on Cap's side, I believe.
Right.
So, I mean,
we have Vision. The artwork I'm looking at, Vision is with
pictures.
Tony and Vision.
Lineups, but...
Yeah, I mean, I'm just looking at a couple specific pieces. But in the pieces with Emily Van Camp, we do have Vision.
Okay.
So, but thank you, Gamer Girl.
There was one piece of concept art earlier that had like Scarlet Witch sort of facing off against Vision, and I wonder if they're now like maybe we should be hiding that because that's probably going to be kind of an emotional thing.
Yeah.
I forget that they don't have that relationship yet in the movies, but they have like teammate thing going on. So that'll
well, and like there was that sweet moment in Age of Ultron where he like saved her like this Christ-like figure and just kind of looked up at the sun as he flew up.
There's also that look where she was kind of like, look at that guy as soon as he showed up in the first place, which I just thought of as a cute little Easter egg for all of us. But
yeah, that's kind of what I thought too. Like, oh, I love this man, even though he's not a man, but is he? I found that interesting. So like the question becomes like, does she have a more substantial part than we're giving her credit for?
Which would make sense for a Captain America movie.
It absolutely would. It absolutely would. So, like we know that this film.
Did they just remember that Sharon's in it?
Yeah, So like, but like if they're putting her in the posters, then they want audiences to know she's in it.
Right.
So that to me translates as maybe they didn't know how big of a role she was going to have until they got into post, and then now they're like a couple months out from the movie. They're like, oh my god, you know what? Like she's got a much larger role in this than we've kind of owned up to in our promotional art. So I don't know.
The live chat froze, so there's some panic in the disco.
Wait, what?
Oh, no.
There's there's starts of
oh yeah, we're having like a little internet issue, I think.
Hydra.
It's all Hydra. It's all Hydra. But my Twitter's still working. I'm still checking that out every once in a while.
Well, the live chat's fine. Our video's gone. So if there's any issue during the show, okay, so we're good. Welcome back.
Welcome back. Okay, we're back. So anyway, I just again, there's no news there. It was just interesting to me.
Mm-hmm.
So
I think it shows how much more of a Captain America film it's going to be, which we keep getting pieces of that because they know it looks like an Avengers movie, and people joke it's an Avengers movie. I think showing her as that character being such a relevant part is kind of like, we know it's Cap.
Well, let me ask you this: do you think that is the niece to Agent Carter? Like she is, like in the comics, it's her.
Oh, I think she
has the hallway scene in. It's super great in Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
But did she reference Peggy?
We know she does. Or I guess
I don't think Steve Rogers knows. I think
he doesn't. But she's on the phone, and then he's just like, "What was that?" And she's like, "Oh, my aunt." There's that hallway conversation that
I didn't hear that. Okay, I'll have to go back and watch it now, just for that like one little second.
Because she's talking me through something right at the beginning of that hallway scene, and it's super great. And I'm trying to remember if it was like
Winter Soldier.
I feel like if I'm remembering correctly, it's sort of a coded reference to like the sort of. I may be reading way too much into this or remembering it wrong, but like, what I'm remembering it as is the way in the comics, like Peggy's sort of elderly, and we know that in the movies she's kind of maybe borderline Alzheimer-y about Steve Rogers, and there's something in the dialogue in that hallway scene that I felt like was a reference to that, and it's now been so long that I can't remember exactly what it was.
Been at least
but
like
if
a year
you watch back through that her being on the phone to her aunt, it reads very much some reference there that I thought was intentional and have now forgotten.
And we'll re-see it in this because they'll definitely reference it. Because she's on the poster.
Scoobity scop, scoobity scoob. So, by the way, this isn't a big thing, but some Coke cans were sent out to like select comic book like journalists and stuff like that this week, where they have like this minimalistic artwork of some of the Avengers on them, with a note saying something like about more is coming for the Super Bowl. So I just want all of our listeners to be ready to watch the Super Bowl to see what else is coming. I almost wonder if like them having Emily Van Camp and the promotional art these last couple weeks
means she's gonna be at the Super Bowl.
Means that she
in the chimichanga truck handing out Coke cans.
Yep.
That's what I think.
That would mean they struck a deal,
Fox
and then I'd
and
be
Marvel
really
just
happy.
hanging out, just like, here's your Coke to go with your chimichanga.
Yeah, that makes total sense.
If there was an out of nowhere Fox Marvel deal on Super Bowl day,
On
I
Super
think
Bowl
we
day.
would. The internet would break in half.
And just no more sports.
Yeah.
We're just like
Yeah,
the
no
football
more
game. The
sports.
football game doesn't matter. It's just this bond of Fox and Marvel, like, and sports.
And then like all of a sudden like a sort of like merrymaking pole like rises and like they kind of like dance around the merry pole.
The maypole, yes.
Yeah, the maypole. Thank you.
Someone has
anyway.
a question before we move on. Ethan Rowe wanted to know what we think of the idea that Falcon is the guy that changes sides because he feels left out.
I haven't heard that idea. I hope that that's not what they do. I kind of don't want to see like there are some friendships in like comics that are I feel sacred.
I agree with that.
And that's one of them. Like Tony and Steve are very good friends, and like in some level they're probably like even best friends. Like they depend on each other a lot. But there's always been that sort of animosity with each other.
And that makes sense because they're opposite type people. I think that the Falcon Cap team up is very important to each of them.
Yeah.
And they kind of they complete each other.
They do.
He's the modern Cap in a lot of ways, and currently in the comics, the modern Cap, and I think he needs that anchor. So I don't personally think he's going to switch sides. I think it'd be an interesting moment, but it wouldn't be comic appropriate. It wouldn't be character appropriate.
I almost wonder if it'll be Scarlet Witch or Agent 13. Like again, like the fact that they made that change is just like throwing me for a loop. I feel like there's something there.
Comes out
I'm
in 5
probably
months.
wrong. I'm probably very wrong.
Wait, 3 months? May is so soon. It's 2016.
I know.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I know.
3 months?
Yeah. Guardians of the Galaxy, we had a couple like behind the scenes pictures that James Gunn posted, but the one I want to show that I'm very excited about is Chris Pratt on his Instagram, I believe, took a picture of him holding the Awesome Mix Volume 2 in his Sony Walkman. I just again, it's not news. It's just awesome, and you guys should see it if you
I'm so
haven't.
excited.
Like it's just like, and like you can see like the close up of his arm has like he's wearing the jacket, and you can see he's wearing the red Star-Lord pants.
Yeah.
You know,
you can see just the edge of the coat, and it just reminds you how much you loved Guardians 1.
Yeah.
That movie is so good.
Yeah, but like it's just so funny because now you're just like, oh, I wonder what's on that awesome mixtape Volume 2. Like what glorious things are gonna underscore such wonderful scenes as like Ego blasting through space, voiced by Al Pacino.
Yes.
We hope.
We fan casted Al Pacino as Ego, and
I love
now
it.
I can think of nothing better.
Yeah.
I love it.
Once again, this is the perfect teaser because it is a shot that is both nostalgic, not revealing, shows an excitement from the actor, and it gives you nothing away except for the feeling that you had while watching the first movie.
Yeah.
That is how you do
Dead
a
on
teaser.
the same thing you said about Daredevil. It reminded you how much you loved the last one and why you have faith in the new one, and
Gives
how
you a little tone.
And
much
what's
you will enjoy
funny,
it.
this isn't like a Marvel thing. This isn't like Marvel
Chris
like
Pratt just
this
did.
is Chris Pratt just saying, how freaking
know
cool
what's
is this?
awesome?
This is awesome. Oh
As
my god.
Star-Lord would do.
Yeah, like they should actually just make that a poster. Like they should just do that.
Oh yeah, that's already
They
done.
should totally just do
I
that.
feel like that's how the Deadpool marketing worked. Ryan Reynolds, because did you read that interview where he talked about how he helped marketing and like vice versa? So basically,
We're done with Deadpool. We've already passed it. I'm just
next
kidding.
week I'll talk about it. So Deadpool had an interview, and I'll
You
post
just
it
said
on
Deadpool
Twitter.
had an interview.
I did because Ryan Reynolds was born Deadpool and then just only put on the costume recently.
Oh.
He just got revealed. So basically, he did marketing with the team the whole time, and he would like call them once a week and be like, "Hey, what do you guys think about this idea? I have the suit. Let's just film it." And they would on the spot. This whole run has been Ryan as Deadpool inventing the marketing with the marketing team. Because
Oh my god,
every
that's so
marketing panel was
amazing.
lobbying for it, so he had a lot more freedom. And once again, making an indie superhero movie is good because you have power, and then you create this kind of art, which is what it's meant to be. Scooby-Doo-bop.
You skibidi about
I
yourself.
scooby about myself because I'm content with that message.
Good work. So let's talk about Thor Ragnarok real quick, where the film's director, I never know if I'm saying it correctly, Taika Waititi wants to bring humor to the film, and he also kind of talked about Marvel and everything else. So I'm just going to run through some quotes real quick, and you guys can comment on them if you'd like. On Marvel's desire to keep their films fresh, he said, they, meaning Marvel, are constantly looking for the best story. They'll tear everything down to rebuild it and make sure they have the best story. They've got their dark films, some are more serious, and I think it's great that they're mixing it up with Thor Ragnarok. I really want to inject my style of humor into this. I don't know. Like, I think that's so. Thor Ragnarok, they already have the script for that. They go to Taika or Taika, and they're like, hey, we want you for this because it's a little bit too dark right now. And now he's like working to put his own spin on it. And I don't know. I think that's really awesome because they've been like, we've done 30 drafts of Thor, but it's still not right. Let's go do like another 5 or 6, you know? And that's just encouraging to me that we're going to get like, at the very least, the base of what they're starting with is a solid script.
Right.
Yeah.
Whether or not like studio interference, like whatever other elements come into it, like start to screw it up, we'll see. But starting with a solid base, I think I'm excited about. So let's see. He doesn't know if he's going to be writing the script. The big thing that came out is that he was asked if they're going to make Hulk smarter. In this, if it's going to be Bruce Banner still the smart one and Hulk is the dumb brute, you know, who like is marginally in the control of Bruce Banner. And he said it's interesting because at the moment there's a big conversation that's happening about how far to push that, meaning if he's intelligent or not, whether or not the Hulk should be verbal and conscious of who he is. He goes on to say, I think a lot of those conversations have more to do with what's going to come up in future movies. So I think a lot of those decisions are larger group decisions rather than anything to do with just me or the writer. They have a lot of stuff to consider.
Smart, and he knows, because what you change in one major movie affects the entire universe.
Exactly. But it does sound as if that's
a conversation.
It's a conversation. It's not off the table. It's something that they're considering. And they're like, I think in early pre-production right now. They start filming this summer down in Australia. So that's something that they're going to have to get on pretty quickly, I would imagine.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Like, how do you guys feel about that? Do you want a smart Hulk, or do you care that much? Or
I think it's an interesting thing, but it's sort of too soon to pull the trigger on it. I realize we're several movies in, but like I wouldn't want... Because sort of the more intelligence you give to the Hulk, the less basic conflict there is for Bruce Banner. Because if he is just as smart and can control himself, except he's super strong as Hulk, he doesn't really have a fundamental problem anymore. And there have been interesting runs done like that in the comics, but I think like small progress in that direction I think is more interesting and more rewarding. Because there's somewhere else that Taika had said something about like you get a lot of mileage out of limitations, and he was talking about budget and in filmmaking, but I think it applies to story situations.
Absolutely. Like
having a Hulk with more limitations is more interesting territory, although it might probably cut down the awesome banter possibilities, which I think is what he's sort of looking at there. And I love the funny moments and the banter, but I think it's worth limiting yourself that way so you get this more consistent, more basically conflicted version of Hulk. That's how I vote. I don't know.
I feel like I think they're going to do the thing where the more often he's Hulk, the minds start to merge, and he starts to be more and more like Ruffalo becomes Hulk, and Hulk, Banner,
which was happening by the end of by the end of Avengers. That was starting to happen anyway.
So I think with the movie being a full-on team-up between these two, I think the way the banter will work is having him have glimpses of intelligence as the Hulk, and I think that's the best way to do it, because then if we ever get a Hulk solo film, if he's already intelligent, like you're saying, there won't be as much to flesh out. You're just like, hey, this guy's really strong and smart. What a dynamic Superman.
You're kind of weird looking, but good to be you.
Yeah, like when he played baseball and stuff and just wore the suits, and like that just didn't. That's not as much conflict which we need for the film, unless they introduce a good villain. But that's hard with the Hulk villains to have that kind of. We don't want to just have another Abomination where it's Hulk again. So I think having the Hulk with some intelligence would give us glimpses, and it would also add conflict and stakes because you wouldn't know which Hulk you're dealing with. So that would allow us the comedy. It would allow us the high stakes, and I think that's what he's referring to. Is I think they're trying to find like a nice 70-30 or some sort of mix. So I hope we get some intelligent Hulk. I hope we don't get consistent intelligent Hulk.
I mean, if you want to put like a wacky Asgardian amulet that makes him able to communicate for some portion of the movie and gives you banter possibilities, then I won't argue with that. You can destroy it by the end. We'll be all sad.
Yeah,
that'd be cool.
So much fun. I like that idea. Yeah, absolutely.
That's a good idea. I'm kind of on the 70-30 train. Like, I wouldn't mind seeing him like struggle to be intelligent, but I'm with you. Like, I like the struggle that Banner has with the Beast. Like, and that if he becomes like every single time he's become hyper intelligent in the comics, I'm like, all right, here we go. You know, like, and then I miss like that struggle. Like, I think one of my favorite runs was I forgot who was writing it, but when they did the Incredible Hulk and Banner made the deal with Shield, like, it was a very recent run where he's like, look, if you'll fund me to be like this miracle maker, you can have the Hulk whenever you need him. And I liked that because that was like a deal that he was like, I don't like being the Hulk. I don't want to be the Hulk, but I do like saving the world. And everyone knows Bruce Banner as this possible monster.
Right.
They don't know that I'm smarter than Stark or the other guys and that I can do these amazing things if I just had a team, you know? So I don't know. I'm kind of mixed on it. myself.
I think if they find a balance, that'll be the way to win it. I still worry about this whole film. I think Thor 3 is going to be good, but I love all the movies. I'm biased.
Yeah.
Obviously. But I do worry that they're making a potentially dark storyline with a comedy director that's inserting more comedy, because sometimes you need the darkness. And like Hector was talking about, it'd be really great to finally have our Shakespearean giant scope that the first one went for, but if we could commit more, like the X-Men thing, if we could dive in 100% like the X-Men are, then we could have a Thor that's very unique. This middle ground could be really good. I don't know the script. I can't say, but I'm worried from the outset, and I know nothing better. I can't.
Yeah, well, and it's interesting that you bring up Shakespeare, because like the first one was Kenneth Branagh. So like when they bring Kenneth Branagh in, you're like, oh, okay, like
Billy Shakes.
Billy Shakes. They're like doing this, like this is gonna be serious. Like they're bringing a Shakespearean tone to this, and like that's
and
all.
For the record, there's funniness and there's clowniness in Shakespeare quite frequently,
Which
but
Loki-
it's always against
which
this sort of
Loki nails.
epic, tragic background thing.
Yeah.
And so, like, I think I could really, really enjoy like a goofy Thor buddy movie, but that's not the same thing as this, and I'm not totally like, I hope they pull it off brilliantly, and I'm sitting here being like, can't believe I didn't see that coming. But,
Like
but
Joss
it is a little
Whedon's Much
scary.
Ado, speaking of like
Yes.
Marvel, in between Avengers, he made Much Ado, which is a brilliant comedy, but Shakespearean. I would love that buddy cop movie.
Yeah.
We'll see. That's what I want.
Well, if What We Do in the Shadows is any indication,
It's funny.
it's going like he's a good director.
Oh,
like
yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
that like What We Do in the Shadows is one of the best made films I've ever seen.
It's
so like,
wicked
Okay, that's
funny.
fantastic. I haven't seen that one.
It's really good.
oh my god, it is so funny. The special, it's very much like a found footage sort of show, like a documentary crew is following him around kind of thing. But they have like vampire special effects. They're like pulled off flawlessly, and it looks real. Like you have like a bat transformation scene where like these two vampires are fighting as bats and as vampires, and they just keep transforming back and forth between the two, and it looks real. Like
That's
it's
awesome.
And it's hilarious. Like he knows the tone, he knows how to do it. Like he's a solid director. He's a very good choice. I'm just worried that it's not the right direction from the studio. Can Taika pull it off? Absolutely. Is it the right direction from the start? I don't know.
Time will tell.
Yeah. So, anyway, that's all the movie and studio news that we have, but we do still have Agent Carter to talk about. Voice of Doom, what did you think about this week's Agent Carter, sir?
For me, this was the week where the show finally took off for season 2.
I agree.
I've enjoyed it, but this was, we got that a beautiful.
By the way, possible spoilers. England, I know that you guys don't get this until like next week, I think, so you're like a week behind us.
We'll just say,
Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert!
I'll never hear again.
Yeah. So use our beautiful annotations and our beautiful topic lists over here to know that when we're done talking about Agent Carter. So, Voice of Doom, take us through it.
we got they finally are getting into the Arena Club, we think they finally are going to crack the case, get a warrant to search this secret place, and that's a big step for them to take, even though they didn't get in. For me, the best part of it was the beautiful backstory that we got from Peggy's childhood, and the reveal of her getting engaged and then breaking all that stuff, and perfectly matched and played alongside the Madame Mask backstory.
Yeah, Whitney Frost.
Yeah, Whitney Frost. I don't know what to call her. She's Whitney, she's Agnes, she's Mask, tons of names, but it was all, for me, it was great. It was just a well-directed, well-written, well-balanced episode.
Yeah, I totally agree. Like the whole like backstory thing that they did with like that sort of like antagonist protagonist backstory, like shared backstory, just flashback stuff was so good. It was so good, and it is like I felt myself like not crying, but like tears behind my eyes. Like, should I come out right now? Like when they had the whole reveal of like what happened with Peg. Yeah, it was. Oh, they were forcing themselves out.
Tears behind my eyes.
But yeah. Oh, hey, what's up, Voice of Doom? Oh, you got your Peggy Carter hat. Oh, and by the way, this go for it, Amy. This little Peggy Carter from Voice of Doom. Oh, she's so cute. She's the best. I love her.
We match.
You match. No, you guys look exactly the same.
Yeah.
In fact, I thought you were
Which
Haley
one of you
Atwell
is
for a
which?
second. Yeah. Very confused for a second.
The headset makes it difficult to put the hat on. But
I thought that was just your giant brain.
those of you who enjoy the Agent Carter AfterBuzz show, which we do on Tuesday nights right after the airing on the West Coast, are familiar with this hat. And I'm sorry I missed you guys this week. I'll be back I'll be back again next Tuesday.
Yeah. Anyway, Agent Carter this week was great, and next week looks super intense. Like we have the trailer up at Geek Girl Authority. You can find it all over the internet as well. But if you're looking for a specific place to go, we have it there at the very bottom of the rundown. The trailer ends with a literal cliffhanger. Where you're just like, oh god, oh man, I bet Peggy Carter dies.
I can't wait to catch up on the show.
Yeah, you've got to catch up. It's been very, very good. So yeah, that's all the news that we've got today. Now we're going to turn our attention to our Merry Marvellites. Coy, do you have some 5-star reviews?
I do.
So, by the way, Amy, every single week we go through iTunes and we give a shout out to anyone who leaves us any sort of negative, positive. We try to cover the gamut.
Oh, that's awesome.
And we've got our Twitter, and we give our shout outs. We love our fans. We love our fans.
So for some reason, iTunes skipped from November to January 28th. So if there's anyone that left in between those dates and I missed somehow, they're not here anymore, and I apologize, and we still love you. Mr. Poop Magoo.
Yep, that's his real name.
Fantastic.
That's probably his real name.
His mom loved him very much. Idaho Ducks fan. Good sportsing. Sep13, you're on our Twitter and live chat all the time, and he said, just realized every time we said Marvel Movie News fan, we were talking about him. We appreciated the input, man.
Oh.
Covet and Scott say we're the best we are at what we do. Appreciate it.
Thanks.
And Ernie KD said that he's been listening for almost the whole run, and he loves it, but we lately have been talking about I more than the stuff, so like talking about ourselves too much.
Oh, interesting.
And I
okay.
appreciate the feedback, and I will work on it.
Don't.
I appreciate it.
No, we will work on it, Coy. We will work on it.
That's not I.
But he doesn't want us to say I. I'm taking I out of it. See? I'm trying to fix the problem on the air and saying we will work on it. Thank you for that feedback. That is actually really good feedback. We don't want this show to be about us. This is about you guys and the news and the things that we love. So, Aiden at Installation04 says, if you find the time for a shout out, it would make my whole week. Can't wait to hear your Deadpool movie impressions. So there's your shout out, Aiden. How about it? Elisa Trujillo at Miss Alyssa T says, catching up on my favorite podcast YouTube show, and then she had a picture of you and Zach from last week. I would like to point out she didn't have a picture of me. Which I can only imagine that you and Zach are her favorite parts of the show. I mean, and that's okay. That's okay. Everyone has their favorites. I'm not everyone's cup of tea.
Some people like Deadpool. Some people like Doctor Strange.
They're two completely different characters.
Different flavors, same universe.
I get it, but it was See, here I go again. I'm saying I.
See,
you know what?
We felt.
Who was that fan? Who was that fan that said that?
That was on
iTunes.
Oh, the stakes. The stakes are so high. That was Ernie KD. We're gonna watch out, Ernie KD.
Ernie KD. I apologize for that. It is so hard to not say
Ernie KD. Apologize for that.
Quit smiling, you idiot. You're supposed to be a professional.
I am so not professional today. One of our super fans at I Hate Ya. Jurgen, I think I'm saying that correct, wanted to he tweeted at Deadpool asking when Ryan Reynolds was going to be.
Yeah, I saw that. I appreciate that. And the amount of people the last 3 weeks who have tagged me in tweets with Ryan Reynolds is just I love Deadpool, and the love spreading on Twitter is fantastic. It makes me so happy.
Yeah.
Anytime you guys send me a comic you're reading of Deadpool or a picture or anything, it warms the cockles. So I'm really excited.
It's the same thing anytime anyone does anything with Doctor Strange.
Yeah, it's so cool that they that's an association that I was able to unleash on the world. That's so cool. So guys, much love.
Yeah, all the love. Darren Jacques. By the way, Darren owns a massage parlor and spa in Pasadena. That Corey's
leaving. Corey's leaving to go there right
now. He made the suggestion that the guests on the Cosmic Couch should be called heralds.
Ooh, I like that. That's good.
Yeah. What did we say last week? What did we call them last week?
Celestials.
Celestials. Yeah.
I like heralds.
I like heralds because they are like the heralds of the fans.
I dig it.
So I like it. Okay. At El Machas, Pablo says, my birthday was on Sunday. Any chance for a sexy shout out?
Oh, this became such a thing.
What?
Okay, so someone...
Johnny C. Blaze.
Johnny Blaze. By the way, Johnny Blaze has been on fire on Twitter today.
Did you just say that?
I did.
Yeah,
I did.
did.
Should I get out?
Yeah,
Should I get out?
Get right out.
Get out. Skew it about myself. He said, best line ever earlier today. Johnny Cross, Johnny Seablaze said, chimichanga cherry is the best line ever. Congratulations
I'm
to you.
so sorry for saying that.
No,
I
I'm
couldn't
not.
help it.
And he also tweeted out at the very beginning of our show, oh yeah, live chat is on with the crew today and the recurring beauty of Enthusiami.
Oh my gosh, thank you.
The recurring beauty. I like it. I'll take it.
Who,
It's not even to me, but I like
who
it.
wants the
kind.
sexy shout out? Who's?
Yeah, tell me about this. What is this?
Oh,
Okay.
so he at one point asked Meredith for a sexy shout out on the show, and Meredith was like, "I'm uncomfortable doing that. Coy do it. He'll do anything. Mikey likes it." So then it became a thing that I did, and now people request it, and it's not sexy. It's not pleasant. No one wins.
But I think that's what the fans want.
It's
That's specifically
The
what
fans-
this fan wants
this-
for
yeah.
his birthday.
What's
How
the-
dare you?
what's the
It
name?
is
Oh no, I dare.
It's Pablo. It's Pablo.
Just Pablo?
And his birthday was on Sunday.
Oh yeah. Birthday's on Sunday.
His birthday was on Sunday, so that would have been the 31st, I believe.
Hey Pablo, I hope the 31st was as good for you as it was for me. Happy birthday.
So stupid. I love it. Oh, it's the best. Oh.
Oh, this is where I bury my humility and shame.
Happy birthday, Pablo, at El Machos. Stacy at Where You Walk, about to watch the live show for the first time ever. Woo! Welcome to it, Stacy. Hope you're having a good time. Hope we haven't completely disappointed you. Jasper Elwes, who I believe we've spoken about a couple of times. He's a pretty consistent fan. Can I get a shout out on the next, as it's my birthday today, and the debut of my new radio show today.
Oh, congrats.
So his birthday today, debut of his new radio show. I took the initiative. I was like, well, I need to hear more about this radio show. So I asked him, and he said, it's a student radio show every Wednesday. We talked about Deadpool, Pandapool, and Doctor Strange just for the two of us.
Dude, Pandapool and
So-
Doctor Strange.
It's a good. That's
Killing
a good radio show.
Killing
So Jasper, make sure to pimp out your show if we can listen to it, man. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Happy birthday and shout out.
Really cool. Really cool. Happy birthday.
Yeah, and since he didn't ask for a sexy one, we're not.
It's on
gonna-
you. It's on you.
So,
You got it.
yeah. Robin Beer at Beer Robin did a blog post on her like top 15, top 20 podcasts that she listens to, and we made the cut. And she said of us, Marvel Movie News, they started my interest into comics, and they tell me everything I need and want to know about everything in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
That's awesome.
How sweet is that? I really think the greatest thing that we've done, if anything, is get people into comics.
Oh, that's my favorite thing about all this.
If we've helped anyone get
That's
into
the goal,
comics at
man.
all, that's just that
I'm massively biased, but I think that's the greatest thing ever.
that
Also-
hurts how much I love that.
Buy print if you're going to buy comics. For me, you read digital, that's still reading comic, but I think print needs to live on, and I think the local comic store is really important, and it's where you meet people. It's where you find like minds. It's where you actually contribute to not only local business, but to an art form that's dying. Print isn't dead. Support printed comics and shop local.
And I think you made a good point.
Cry.
I think you made a good point. There's a community there.
Absolutely.
I love going to the comic book
I met
shop.
Amy at a comic shop.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's
and that's
awesome.
awesome. It's awesome. As long as you go in and you have an open mind and you're not afraid to make a new friend or two, you can meet some really cool people there. So go do that.
Side note, it's a great way to find your new character. And when you ask us things at the shop about books that you are interested in, we order more of those things because
Absolutely.
we know you're out there wanting them.
guys
It's a
always ask me where I
wonderful
shop.
circular thing.
House of Secrets is fantastic. They will point you in the right direction. They have back issues, which is so rare. It's so hard to find good back issues in LA, especially, which is a big city. It doesn't make any sense. House of Secrets.
Yeah. At HeroShade8867 says, started listening to you guys and love it. Looking forward to viewing all episodes. Seen about 5 of them so far. So welcome to it. Thanks for watching. Alex McArdell at Alex McArdell. Can't wait for Doctor Strange movie, so I made my own. Oh, do we have that art? This is this dude who made this amazing artwork. Voice of Doom. Can we pull that up real quick? I need to put it in our Geek Girl Authority rundown. I forgot to do that, but this art is gorgeous, and it looks like this 3D. Like 3D, almost like claymation CGI.
combo?
It's so gorgeous.
You're showing us about it looks.
Can I briefly, while we're looking?
Yeah.
Rodrigo Barros, he is letting me know that Ryan Reynolds is going to be in Brazil, and they're playing it early. He's been in the live chat a lot. Apparently, Carnival, Deadpool, or Shows of Excitement. I wanted to give him a shout out because he's a very entertaining guy.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, while we're pulling that picture up, Al,
There it is.
God, look at it. Oh, I'm gonna make that my phone background. I think it's so good.
Beautiful.
So it's Alex, sir, you've outdone yourself. It's gorgeous. Thank you for that. Let's see. Anthony at more IR09 says, read Doctor Strange issue 1. It was really good. I enjoyed it. Also wanted to say your Marvel show got me into comics. Oh, see, it's the best. It's the best. I love it. And then we have a question from Colt Badeau. What obscure character would you like to see in a TV show or movies? Then he puts his also adds, I want Taylor Swift as Dazzler.
Oh, I love that.
I would love Taylor Swift as Dazzler. That would be amazing.
That'd be so good.
So this
fan cast obscure character, basically.
Well, I'm not going to fan cast anything, but I will say I would love to see Cloak and Dagger. Like, I would love to see Cloak and Dagger in anything.
Amazing.
So, like that or Brother Voodoo. Like, I would be all about that.
I've said it before, but I think an Aaron Paul shocker would be fantastic.
Ooh. That would be good.
I think a lowly henchman, Aaron Paul, so you care about him instantly because that man's just so damn likable and charming as Shocker. I think Ben Foster as Carnage. What other obscure character? I mean, I'm a Spidey guy. I'd really love to see some of this. Spider-Man has the best villains in comics, in my opinion. Maybe Batman, they're close. Batman and Spider-Man. But, like, we haven't seen the villains done fully villainy. So I'd like to see some obscure villains as an intro to the movie. Dive in, have the big bad. You can have your multiple villains. Studio's happy. They sell more toys. But we also get the integrity of the comic.
I just had... Okay, we've got to wrap it up. I apologize. But I just had this thought, and then I want to hear you. Darkhold Redeemers. They were... they barely ran for anything in the 90s. They were like, so there's this book called The Darkhold that is like this giant book of magic. It's one of the most dangerous books of magic in the Marvel Universe, and they were the watchers of this one book and a couple other artifacts, but they were called the Darkhold Redeemers for that reason. I think it was Victoria Montesi was the leader of it, and I want to see that.
Cool.
I've looked for those comics all over the place. I can't find them. I've looked online. I've tried to torrent them. I can't find it.
Wow.
I don't think I've ever seen those comics.
I had a couple of them when I was a kid and was just in love. Like, loved it when I was a kid. I was like, I want to be this.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. All right. So that's my giant obscure one. Amy?
Well, I never know what to rule out anymore because, like, a little while ago, I would have said, like, my fave obscure characters we're never going to see were the New Mutants.
Yeah.
And apparently they're getting a movie.
Amazing.
So I can't, so I will go with current obsession Squirrel Girl.
Oh.
I don't know how to work her in anywhere without ruining the tone of whatever she's in, but, like, just let it be its own universe. I don't care.
My fiance
Ryan North is involved.
My fiance Brittany would completely agree with you. That's her favorite. She got to see Rocket. Rocket's her other favorite. And then now she's like, "Where's Squirrel Girl? I need to see Squirrel Girl." Yeah.
Awesome.
So anyway, we've got to wrap it up. Voice of Doom. Do we have time to see Amy's trailer? Do we have that?
Absolutely.
Let's do it.
Sure? Thank you, guys.
Sure. Why
We
not?
have to do this.
We absolutely do. Let's take a look.
Curie is a time-traveling grad student from far in the future. Viking is a fierce warrior from long ago. And M is, well, between jobs right now.
No, silly. I'm on permanent vacation.
Future Girl.
It's about a time traveler, a Viking, and a sophisticated career woman sitting around an apartment dealing with everyday stuff? Pretty much.
Future Girl. It's like hanging out at home with your best friends if your best friends were a Viking warrior.
Observe. Horns.
And a time traveler from way in the future.
You used my time machine.
Hey, that actually sounds kind of fun. Amy Dallen, Gina DeVivo, and Heather Wood in Future Girl. Also, it's got a talking cat voiced by Phil Lamar.
Where is my food dish?
The voice talents of Tara Platt, Yuri Lowenthal, and Tom Kenny. A theme song by the Double Clicks. And wait until you see the star-studded finale. Future Girl. It'll have you like...
Aww. That looks amazing.
That's awesome.
That's so good. I love it.
So many voice people. I love it.
Oh my god, our
Yuri
cast is
and-
insane. I mean, it's people that we got to contribute in various amounts, but I can't believe any single one of them actually worked with us. John Bailey did the voiceover for that, the Honest Trailers guy.
That's so cool.
It just makes me feel so legitimate. It's like a real thing.
Oh,
and
that's so
sorry,
awesome.
I'm so proud we worked really
No,
hard.
you
to make
should be.
people like
That's
it.
amazing.
It's got
That's
a Kevin
amazing.
Smith Mallrats flavor.
Yeah.
I like that. That's awesome.
I love it. I love it.
Thank
Well,
you guys so
congratulations.
much.
No, thank you for sharing it with us. We're glad that we could put it out there for you. He wants one. I want one. All right, Amy, let's close it up. Where can we find you?
I am on Twitter at Enthusiamy, and that'll pretty much link you everywhere. My channel where you can see that show is youtube.com/Amy Dallen. You could go by my store as long as you're nice. Come to Burbank, House of Secrets, and find me on Geek and Something.
Great.
And thank you guys so much for having me.
Thanks for being on. We're honored to have you. We're sorry we were without Meredith, but we're glad that we got to have you. So
won't say the word, can't say. Coy is on Coy at Coy Jandreau.
You've gone third
on
person.
Twitter,
Is that
and
helping?
Coy is also on Instagram. And I will see you guys here next week. I have nothing to push. I find out at the Super Bowl if we won the Doritos commercial at the Super Bowl. So I'm hoping to run into some chimichanga slinging Deadpools, and we'll find out then if I have slightly more money than I do now.
All right, fantastic. Congratulations.
I don't have $1 million. It's not slight. That's incredible. It's so much. I would love $1 million.
You can find me at the Matt Key on the Twitter, and I also produce the Fat Man on Batman podcast, and you'll hear my voice from time to time, but go make sure to go support that poor filmmaker Kevin Smith. Just like the poor man. I mean, he's got nothing going
Making
for him.
what he wants.
Except like that he's like a creative, brilliant man, and whatever. Anyway, that's our show. Thanks for joining us. Please don't forget to subscribe to our show on iTunes, or subscribe to us on the YouTube through the Popcorn Talk Network, or you can just find us on their website, popcorntalknetwork.com. Also find us on Facebook /Marvel News Show, or find us on Twitter at Marvel News PTN. I'm Matt Key. We've got Coy Jandreau and special guest Amy Dallen. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you next week.
Thank you.
From producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, Christian Harloff, and the entire Popcorn Talk Network, we would like to thank you for tuning in. For questions or comments, be sure to visit popcorntalk.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of the Popcorn Talk Network.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of its owners or principals.
All right, hey. All right, good job, guys. Let's just not come in tomorrow.